In this video we will be reviewing Jim Carrey's American science fiction comedy drama film, The Truman Show. Let's begin. Truman Burbank is the unwitting star of The Truman Show, a reality television show shot around the clock by thousands of hidden cameras and aired to a global audience. Christof, the showrunner and executive producer, aims to convey Truman's genuine feelings while also providing them with a realistic ordinary man. Truman has been the show's star since his birth, and the studio has legally adopted him. As Truman was selected from birth following an unplanned pregnancy, Christof says that Truman came to be adopted not just by the show, but by the whole world. Truman's hometown of Sea Haven Island is a whole set created within a large dome, filled by production personnel and actors who enhance the show's product placements. Christof has complete control over practically every element of Truman's existence, including the weather, thanks to the complex set. Christof creates scenarios that discourage Truman from wanting to explore, such as his father's death in a sea storm to seed aquaphobia in him, and constantly broadcasts and prints messages about the risks of traveling and the benefits of staying at home in order to keep him from realizing his false reality. Christof, however, was unable to foresee every move Truman would make. Truman had planned to fall in love with and wed his roommate Meryl during his time in college, but instead he fell for Sylvia. Even though Sylvia was momentarily fired from the show before she could tell Truman what it was about, he still thinks of her and occasionally fantasizes about a life with her separate from his marriage to Meryl. He hopes to do this by visiting Sylvia's family, who had relocated. Sylvia is a member of the activist group Free Truman in the Real World, which works to end the show and free Truman. As the show's 30th anniversary approaches, Truman begins to notice strange features, such as a spotlight descending from the sky in front of his house and a radio channel that accurately describes his activities. These events are highlighted by the reappearance of his father, who had infiltrated the set, leading the crew to believe that the actor had been recast. Truman begins to evaluate his life and finds that the city revolves around him in some way. Meryl's stress from trying to maintain the farce in the face of Truman's growing doubt and anger forces their marriage to crumble. Truman surprises Meryl one day by taking her on an unplanned road trip, but increasingly absurd emergencies get in their way. During an argument sparked by Meryl's attempt to promote a product, Truman determines that Meryl is a member of the plot and holds her at knife point. She violates character and is removed from the show. Christof reintroduces Truman's father to the show properly, under the illusion of having lost his memory after the boating accident, in the hopes of bringing Truman back to a manageable state. This helps the show reclaim the audience ratings lead, and Truman appears to revert to his routines, except he begins sleeping in his basement. Truman mysteriously vanishes one night down a constructed tunnel in his basement, forcing Christof to investigate. Christof commands a citywide search for Truman and quickly turns on light of whole massive set and disrupt the production's day-night cycle in order to improve the search. Christof discovers Truman, who has overcome his fear of water, sailing away from Sea Haven on a small boat. He resumes the broadcast, and unable to reach Truman by boat, arranges a strong storm to capsize Truman's boat. Christof ends the storm after nearly drowning Truman but failing to shatter his spirit. Truman continues to sail until his boat collides with the structure's wall. Truman is initially alarmed when he sees a nearby staircase leading to an exit door. As Truman considers leaving his environment, Christof communicates directly to him through a speaker system, suggesting that there is no more truth in the actual world than in his artificial one, where he would have nothing to fear. After a brief moment of pause, Truman says, "In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night," bows to his fan base, and walks out. The audience applauds his escape, and Sylvia rushes to meet him. Christof's bosses finally finish the show with a shot of an open exit door, leaving Christof to admit his defeat. Truman's fans, the show's viewers, celebrate his successful escape and then inquire about what else is on television when transmission ends. And that's how the movie comes to an end. Please subscribe for more movie recaps, and thanks for watching.